Hello, today we have a fun class for you that progresses through some heart openers as a warm up to three different levels of bridge pose Setu, Bandha, Sarvangasana. So we'll play with that. And as always, if you'd like a little bit of music along with your yoga, find the link to our playlist below on Spotify, or just find us on Spotify and choose any playlist that you would like. Enjoy! We'll begin in child's pose. Stretch out your arms towards the top of the mat. Leave your knees out wide. Let your big toes touch and let the hips sit back towards the ankles. Breathe deeply. Rest your forehead. Close your eyes. And take a moment to notice where you are. Feel and notice into the breath, the body, and any activity in the mind. Let yourself intentionally arrive on your mat in this space, in your practice. Perhaps setting intention for the practice today. Either I will remain through the entirety of the class, or I'll pay attention to the breath. I'll pay attention to my body. I'll stay aware. And then from child's pose, option to bring the hands to prayer, taking the thumbs to the base of the neck. Wiggle the elbows forward a little bit. Get an extra stretch through the backs of the arms, the triceps. Forehead still touching down towards your mat. Still breathing deeply into the back body and the back of the heart. And then we'll release the hands back towards the top of the mat. Press into the palms and rise up to all fours so the knees come a little closer together under the hips. Intentionally place the full palm, the fingertips, fingers long and wide. And then inhale, cow pose. Take the heart open, the shoulders back, the eyes up. With exhale breath, a cat pose, rounding into the back of the heart, releasing the head, the tailbone to the earth, and pressing the arms long. And we'll follow the breath between cat and cow pose, moving at your own pace. Inhale to cow, option to bend the elbows a little bit, bring in that sense of chaturanga arms. And as we go through the cat-cow, we can take it side to side into the shoulders or into the hips. Move around through the neck or deeper elbow bend or press back through a child's pose-ish shape, letting the hips go back. And just warming through the torso as we connect the breath to the movement through this early warm-up. Aware of the connection between breath and the body. Inhaling to open the heart, look up. And exhaling to round, exhaling towards earth to release the head. Eventually tuck the toes underneath you. And then we'll cat-cow our way to downward facing dog. The hips up and back. Hand placement is relatively the same, at least shoulder width distance apart, maybe wider. Feet hips width distance apart, and as you play with your downward facing dog, we can gaze back to the space between the two big toes. Pedaling it out, or bending both knees deeply, or taking the ankles to the right, to the left. So we're creating space in the back of the legs, the back body itself, letting the neck be long. From downward facing dog, big inhale breath, we'll shift forward to a high plank. So as we land in high plank, a focus on spreading the collarbone wide again, and the feet might need to wiggle back a little bit. Find that strength, strong arms. And then breath out, hips up and back to downward facing dog. Maybe playing with that a few more times as you shift to high plank, crown of the head forward, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, breath, downward facing dog. Inhale to high plank and then leave the weight in the hands as we press through the hands and baby step the feet up to ragdoll at the top of the mat. So deep bend the knees here in ragdoll, feet hips width distance. Hang the head, we can grab opposite elbows, take a little sway. Let the spine be long, let the neck be long too. Shake or nod in the head or play with placement of the feet. Knees are bent, so the focus here is on lengthening the spine more so than the hammies and the back of the legs. Let the belly rest on the thighs. And every exhale breath just releases you further towards the ground. As you're ready, with an inhale, halfway lift, we'll rise up. Hands can anchor outside of the shins, shoulders back. Nice open chest, width across the collarbones, essence of cow pose here. And then exhale, breath, deeper forward fold. Release the head again. Knees are still bent or soft. Inhale, breath, rise up through that flat back half lift all the way to Tadasana, mountain pose. And then exhale, hands to the heart for Samastitihi. Inhale, breath, we'll reach up again, look up. And then with exhale, slowly reach back as you stretch the shoulders, the chest. So shoulders are opening back as the hands reach to place at the low back, fingers down, or fingertips can wrap around the front of the waist there, thumbs to the base of the spine. And use that hand placement to further push, press, heart skyward. Stay open, hands stay as they are as we exhale forward, fold, and then release at the bottom. Inhale, half lift, heart open. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to a high plank hold. Strengthening here for a few breaths. Find that nice long line from the heels to the crown of the head, and then slowly lower all the way down to the belly. Playing with a few low cobra variations, we'll point the toes. Press down into the tops of the feet. And then with inhale breath, lift up through the back of the heart, the chest. Exhale breath, forehead returns to the earth. Tent the fingertips off wide off the edges of the mat, elbows to the sky. And then follow inhale to lift the heart, the chest again. Real light pressure in the hands. Exhale breath, forward fold. We can play with hand placement towards the top of the mat, nice and wide. Inhale, lift up through the back of the heart. Keep the whole spine long as you reach top of the head forward. And then exhale, breath, forehead down. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, breath, low cobra lift. Exhale, forehead to the earth. Tuck the toes, inhale straight up through high plank or all fours, and then return to downward facing dog. This time from down dog, with inhale breath, we'll look to the top of the mat, and then with exhale breath, bring the feet to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart goes open. Exhale, fold again, knees can be bent. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose, reach to the sky. Exhale, breath, hands to the heart. Inhale, breath, we'll reach up again. This time with breath out, a slow reach back, and down. Hands placed at the low back. Breathe in, descend the heart skyward again. Look up, chin up, chest open, elbows squeeze in. Hold that. As we exhale, forward fold, and then release the hands, the head at the bottom. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank pose to low plank. Inhale through, upward facing dog. Thighs are lifted this time. And then exhale, breath, return to down dog. Of course, you can always add in your own variation there. We'll inhale, look ahead. Exhale breath, come to forward fold, release the head. Inhale, half lift. Breath out is a deeper fold, nice long spine. And then inhale, rise up, mountain pose, reach. Exhale breath, hands to the heart, belly in. Inhale breath, reach up, mountain pose. With exhale breath, hands reach down and back. We place hands at the low back. Breathe in to lift up through the heart, low ribs still in, and then exhale, forward fold. Release at the bottom, inhale, half lift. Breath out is high plank to low plank or some other variation. Inhale breath, upward facing dog on the hands and the tops of the feet only, and then exhale breath, downward facing dog. Inhale breath, look to the top, exhale breath, forward fold. Inhale breath, half lift, heart open, spine long. Breath out, fold in, little deeper. Inhale breath, rise, mountain pose. Exhale breath, reach all the way back, place the hands at the low back. And then inhale, lift up through the heart. Heart open as we exhale, forward fold, release at the bottom. Breath in, half lift. Breath out, this time just the left foot steps to the back of the mat, left knee down. And then inhale, Anjaneyasana. Hands to the sky, or take a little extra heart opening. Interlace the fingers behind you. We can let the head rest back into the hands, elbows real wide, your variation here. And then we'll plant the hands, step back through our vinyasa, and return to downward facing dog. With inhale breath, look to the front. Exhale is a forward fold. Inhale breath, half lift. Exhale breath, deeper fold. Release the head. Inhale, rise, mountain pose, reach up. This time with exhale, just reach back, place the hands at the low back. And then breathe in, open the heart, squeeze the elbows in. Exhale breath, forward fold, just like that. Release hands at the bottom. Inhale, half lift. Breath out, the right foot steps back, right knee down, and then inhale, Anjaneyasana. Take any kind of heart opener, cactus the arms, bind at the low back, or hands behind you, letting the head have some support there as you lift up through the heart. Exhale breath, plant the hands, and then step back through vinyasa to downward facing dog. And we'll take a few extra resting rounds of breath here in downward dog. After a nice little reset in downward facing dog, we'll intentionally put a little more pressure into the palms, into the hands, and then inhale, look forward. Exhale, float to the top of the mat with big toes touching, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Breath out, fold in, little knee bend. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. And then exhale, chair pose. Hands can come to the heart. Sit low into the heels, hips reaching down and back, heart still open. Lift the heart up towards the thumbs as the hips stay low. And then all the weight grounds down into your right foot. We'll inhale, reach up, mountain pose, and the left knee, left thigh lifts with you. With the left thigh lifted, reach back just as we did in our Sun A and plant the hands to the base of the spine. Lift up through the heart, the chest, and then sweep the left foot back so the knees are together. Hold the foot there using strength of the hammies, or take one hand to bind the foot, or both hands to bind the foot. And then extend the heart, the chin further skyward. So lengthening the arms as we stretch open through the front side of the body here. Release the foot, bring the knee back to center. Hands can stay bound. We'll slowly reach the left foot all the way towards the back of your mat. Have fun with this transition to an inhale, high lunge. Settle the feet, find stability, drop the hips nice and low. And then from high lunge, sweep the arms back to the low back, interlace the hands. Knuckles to the earth, heart to the sky, and then exhale, humble high lunge. Release the crown of the head down towards earth as knuckles go skyward or towards the front of your space. Still pressing strongly through both feet, nice and level in the hips. Can you take the eyes to the back of the mat? And then inhale, reach back up, high lunge, lift. With exhale breath, we'll open into an upright twist, taking the left arm forward and the right arm back. So the hips are still facing to the front of the mat. Heart working around towards the side, towards right thigh. Hips nice and low, low, low. Hold the low body strong as we inhale, exalt. Left arm skyward. Right hand could reach towards the outside edge of your back thigh, left thigh. Breathe in, look up. Exhale breath, hips go a little lower. With inhale, we reach back up through high lunge to exhale, warrior two. So we're open up with the right foot forward, right knee over the right ankle or the ball of the right foot. And the left toes can face a little bit forward as well, right? So give the hips some ease there as we stretch long through the arms and open up wide through the chest. Inhale, breath, reverse. Right arm reaches up and back and the right hip stays low. The low body stance stays low and stays strong here. Left shoulder can relax, find some ease there. Exhale, breath, side angle. Right arm towards earth. Left arm towards the sky, maybe a little tension there between right arm, right thigh, and vice versa to help leverage that heart skyward a little bit. And then exhale, breath, left hand comes to earth. We'll inhale, low lunge twist. So notice how the back left foot, toes aim forward naturally. Let that happen. And then right arm comes down inside right thigh for lizard pose. So we can take the back knee, left knee down, point those toes. We could keep squeezing the right thigh towards the right arm. Chest is nice and open. Come to forearms if you'd like, if that's accessible to you with an open chest. Or right arm to the sky, we'll add in a twist. In this variation, you can now let the right toes, right knee aim out. And then reach that right arm back, back, back to grab a hold of the back left foot, inviting in that quad stretch. Looking for length here through the whole front of the body, from the back left knee, through the left thigh, through the chest, probably front of the neck and even in the chin. And then exhale, plant the hands, tuck back toes. We can sweep through an Ekapada, Chaturanga Dandasana, right leg lifted as we shift from high to low. Inhale through up dog, both feet are planted there, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out here in downward facing dog. And then with inhale breath, we look to the top of the mat, root down into the hands and prepare. With exhale breath, spring forward to a forward fold. Inhale breath, halfway lift, open the chest, lengthen the spine, rise up. Exhale, chair pose. Hands can come to the heart here. We can use that little reminder of thumbs toward heart space to lift up through the heart. As you sit the hips back, the weight goes into the heels. The spine is nice and neutral and long. This time, root down fully through the left foot. Push, push, push down through the left foot. And as we inhale, we'll rise up, mountain pose. Take the right knee, right thigh with you. Flex the right foot. Slow reach back to plant the hands at the low back. And then sweep the right foot back, knees together. We could stay here. No hands. Or bind just right hand to right foot. Or also bind left hand to left foot. And then use that bind to press the foot into the hands, to push the heart to the sky. Chin to the sky, perhaps. We're still working to draw the knees towards each other. Front body opening, right? From the right knee all the way up through the front of the body, the heart, the neck. And then release. Bind the arms if you like. Right knee comes up and through again. And then a slow press of the right heel straight back through an airplane pose variation or any other fancy fun transition to an inhale high lunge. So we settle the hips in high lunge. Find your stability here. Find this shape. Say hello to this high lunge shape and then sweep the hands behind you. Interlace fingers. Breathe in. Lift the heart. Disappear the heads of the shoulders behind you. With exhale breath, humble high lunge. Dropping the head to look back towards the right big toe. Knuckles to the sky, or some of you might be able to reach the knuckles forward to the front of the space as you squeeze the shoulder blades behind the heart. So it's chest open here, big time, as we press down through both feet. With inhale, we'll sweep back up to high lunge. Take a moment to find stability again. Settle the hips, stack shoulders over the pelvis. And then exhale breath, twist. The right hand goes forward, the left palm reaches back. Palms open, thumbs up. As we twist the heart around towards the left thigh, and the hips still squared to the top of your mat. So all 10 toes still facing forward. Inhale, exalt. Right arm goes skyward, hips melt a little lower. The left arm, back arm might be reaching towards the outside of right thigh to help leverage around into this twisted, exalted, heart-lifting shape. And then inhale back up through your high lunge to exhale, warrior two. Left toes forward now, and we'll settle in the shoulders. Settle the hips low. Think width across the collarbone, the chest, a little sense of lifting the heart to the sky here in warrior two. And then hips stay low, low, low as we inhale, reverse, left arm up and back. Lengthening through the left side body, left hip and left shoulder moving in opposite directions. And with exhale breath, a side angle, left arm towards the earth, right arm to the sky or to the front of your space. The low body stance is roughly the same here, still strong. Heart reaching open towards the sky or the eyes as well. And then exhale breath. Takes your right hand down to the earth. We'll inhale left arm skyward for that low lunge twist. Notice the right toes, back toes, just naturally turned forward. And then lizard pose as your breath out. So adjust to a wider, a longer stance. The back knee can come down if you'd like. We can chaturanga the arms, take the elbows, forearms to the earth if you'd like. But what about spine long and heart open? Maybe starting with a squeeze of the left knee to the left tricep. Left toes still facing forward. Eventually, we could add in a twist. Taking left arm to the sky as we purposefully turn the left toes, left knee out. Let the hips melt downward a little bit more, forward a little bit more. An option to follow that arc of the reach of left arm all the way around towards the outside edge of the back right foot. Using a little connection here between the right foot, left hand to press opening into the front body, through the right thigh, through the belly, the heart, the chest, maybe even the neck if you'd like to take your chin skyward. Just notice sensation on the back of the neck, never crunching there. And then exhale, plant the hands, tuck the back toes. We can sweep left foot up and back for Ekapada, Chaturanga Dandasana. High to the low, with inhale breath, up dog, both feet are planted. Exhale breath, downward facing dog. Full breath in here. Full breath out. And then we move through a similar variation, following the breath this time a little more closely. Find your breath. With inhale breath, we'll look to the front, and with an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Breath out, fold in deeper. Inhale, rise, chair pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, lift up again. Take the left knee with you, and then exhale, bind behind you. This time with breath out, just slow sweep the left foot to the back of your mat. And then inhale to a high lunge. Root the feet, reach up. Exhale, sweep the hands behind you. We can place to the low back. Lift up through their heart with breath in, and then breath out for the humble variation of forward fold. With inhale breath, back up through high lunge. Exhale breath, twist. Inhale, exalt, left arm to the sky, still twisted. And then exhale, sink the hips a little bit lower. With inhale breath, we'll sweep up through center, and your exhale is warrior two, open up. Inhale breath, right arm reaches back, reverse. Exhale breath, side angle. Inhale breath as your low lunge twist, right arm to the sky. And then exhale breath, plant the hands, Chaturanga Dandasana, to an inhale, upward facing dog, to a breath out, downward facing dog. Reset, find breath again. And then inhale breath, look to the top of your mat. Exhale breath as a forward fold. With inhale breath, we'll lift halfway. Breath out, fold in a little deeper. Soften the knees. Inhale, chair pose, drop into the heels. Exhale, hands can come to the heart or go lower. Inhale, rise up, take the right knee with you this time, and then exhale, a slow sweep to the low back. Breathe in, lift up through the heart. Exhale, press the right foot back. Inhale, breath, high lunge. Exhale, reach to the low back again. Breathe in to open up, lift through the heart. Keep heart open as you exhale for a humble variation. Inhale, breath is back to high lunge, reach up. With exhale breath, twist right hand forward. Inhale, exalt, right arm to the sky. Exhale, sink the hips a little bit lower, and then with inhale, we'll reach up through high lunge to exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, breath, side angle. Inhale is your low lunge twist, right arm down, left arm skyward, open up. This time, exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank. Breath in, any heart opener of your choice, and then exhale, breath. Downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, a little series for further heart opening and to catch our breath a little bit here. Inhale, shift to high plank. Wiggle the feet back if you need to. Exhale, down dog. We'll do this a few times. Inhale, shift to high plank. Right length from the heels to the top of the head. Breath out, down dog. Eventually, inhale, shift to high plank, and then hold there. Strengthen there. Take knees down if you need to. We want the hips to be right in between the knees and the shoulders, or heels and the shoulders. Chest nice and open, and then we'll slowly lower all the way down to the belly. Lengthen the legs, point the toes, and we'll take that same low cobra variation, fingers tented off the edge of the mat, elbows to the sky. We lift through the back of the heart. Eyes can stay low off the top edge of your mat, back of the neck long. We're holding here, breathing, and then exhale, slow, lower down. One cheek can come to the mat, or right cheek to the mat. Right arm out to a T, and then we'll use that left hand under left shoulder to press onto the right side body for a little shoulder chest opening on the right side. So the left knee can bend, the left foot can plant behind right knee. That adds in an element of hip opening as well. And let the right leg still be long and active, whether right toes are pointed or the right foot is flexed. A restful chest opener here. We'll slow roll back to center, through center. Left cheek down, left arm out to a T. And then we can use the right hand to press onto the left side of the body. And you're welcome to bend the right knee and step the right foot behind the left thigh. Left leg active and long. Find a nice long line from the left heel or pointed left toes all the way up through the top of the head. Then we'll slow roll back through center, chin centered. This time, bend both knees, shoulders are open, floor bow. We'll reach back to the tops of pointed feet. And then as you're ready, with knees drawing towards one another, inhale, lift up the heart, the chin, the chest. Press the feet into the hands. This draws the arm longs, takes the heads of the shoulders back. And you might feel a little bit of a playful rock and roll here with the breath. We're not trying to rock and roll, not forcing anything, but just letting the movement be present as we breathe. Toes to the sky. When you're ready to come down, we can slow lower. Sometimes it feels good to keep a hold of those feet and then draw the heels to the outside of the hips for a little extra quad stretch here. Elbows to the sky. We'll release when you're ready. We can make a little diamond shape with the hands, bring the forehead or the chin down, and rest here, neutral. Toes pointed, feet hips width distance apart or wherever they naturally land. And just let yourself breathe. Breathe normally, perhaps. Noticing the activity of the heartbeat, the breath after that big heart opening, chest opening. Not trying to change anything. Nothing needs to change. Just present with what is and aware. And then from this rested shape, hands under the shoulders. We'll press back to a child's pose. We started with a knees wide child's pose. Knees can be a little more hips width distance here or closer in. And then maybe this time sweep the arms back to cup the ankles. Let the forehead rest down. Intentionally rounding for a moment into the low back. Going bigger into the back of the heart, imagining sending breath into the back of the heart space. Expanding there a little bit between the shoulder blades. And purposefully resting at the same time. We'll slow rise up to standing on the knees closer together this time. Setting up for a camel pose variation, tented fingers behind you with the fingertips pointed to the top of the mat. We'll push the heart to the sky, taking shoulders back, arms long. This might be enough for you right here as it is, chin towards chest so the back of the neck stays long. Or we can release the heels of the hands to the earth. And then get a bigger opening there through the chest as we press heart skyward again. Stretch through the shoulders. Maybe you'd like to involve a lifting of the hips. Drive the knees down, drive the shins down, drive the tops of the feet down. Front body opening again through the thighs, the belly, the chest. Chin towards the sky if it feels comfortable, or hold the back of the neck long. And then rise up, just seated on the heels, hips to the heels. Palms can rest in your thighs. And check in. Again, noticing what arises after these heart opening shapes. Chin neutral. Drop the chin a little more. Soften the shoulders. Soften the belly here. Tap into a sense of ease, and then hold that sense of ease as we rise up for a little camel pose prep. So standing on knees, hips width, toes are tucked underneath this time. We'll sweep the arms up to the sky, lengthen the front of the body, and then just as we've been doing, slow reach the hands down and back as we open the shoulders, open the chest. We can plant hands to the base of the spine and just stay right here, lifting the heart straight up skyward or chin skyward. We're still pressing the hip points forward over the knees. We're still lifting up, up, up out of the low back. So you can stay with the hands to the low back. We can interlace fingers, take a bind, reach knuckles to the earth, heart to the sky. Camel pose can be as simple as you need it to be. Right? What about taking the simpler variations? You could stay a little bit longer. And when you're ready to release, intense pose, keep the toes tucked. Sit the hips back to the heels. And breathe for a moment with the palms face up in the thighs. Where can you soften? Where can you let go? Eyes closed, still upright with the spine. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, plant the hands. Pound out the feet, point the toes in that all fours shape. And then tuck toes and return back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, similar sequence to what we've been doing, this time adding in a little bit more of twisting. Root into the hands, spread the fingers nice and wide. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, float or step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, breath, half lift, open the chest. Breath out, fold in deeper. Big toes are touching. Deep bend the knees. Inhale, chair pose. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Lengthen in the spine. And then we'll take a twist over towards the right. So it's the left elbow that's hooking outside of your right thigh. And we're using that push of the palms, thumbs towards heart center, to get wide through the heart still, wide through the chest. Nice and level through the low body, the hips, the knees, the heels. Root all the way down into the right foot. Feel how that encourages the left foot to get a little light and lifted. And then can you hold this prayer twist as you step your left foot back to a twisted high lunge. Once the left foot lands, take the adjustments that you need to open up through the heart again. So the twist, right? The twist is coming from hips still facing forward or equal distance down towards the mat. And the heart twisting around towards the right, towards right thigh. A nice long in the spine. We'll inhale to spiral up through high lunge and then exhale, land to a warrior two. Right foot forward. Inhale, breath, reverse warrior, right arm up and back. Exhale, breath, side angle, right arm towards the earth. From side angle, we'll step it up to a half moon pose. So we can look down ahead of the right foot for a little stability. Tented right fingertips to the earth. We can use a block here. Left arm to the sky or left hand to left hip. Steady gaze can help hold the balance. And because we're doing front body opening today, perhaps playing with a bind of the left hand to left foot. And then really pressing, pushing the left foot into the left hand to go further open through the front of the body. Feel the quad stretch. Feel the left shoulder stretch. Hips and heart open here in your half moon. With every inhale breath, bigger across the front of the body. Exhale breath, warrior two. Open up, sink the hips. Breath in, reverse triangle pose. And then we'll take a swoop down to a wide leg forward fold. Prasarita Parottanasana. So the toes are aiming in. Crown of the head towards the earth. Doesn't have to be touching down. We can always bend knees in this shape. Sometimes it feels good to intentionally take deep right knee bend, deep left knee bend. Right? Where does intention want to take you? Is it going for the stretch, for the strengthening, for the challenge, for the ease? Listen to your body. Listening to intuition will guide you through the choices that are most appropriate for you. Here we're doing a little bit of a tripod headstand prep, just the prep. Notice how the hands aren't up by the ears, but further back towards the long edge of the mat. And then inhale, a halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, we'll crawl to plant the hands towards the top of the mat, low lunge. And then just walk, wiggle, step, right foot across the top of the mat, setting up for a half pigeon. So when the hips and the heart are square to the short front edge of the mat, we can fold forward, finding a nice long line from the left toes up through the top of the head or even through the left fingertips. Letting go here for a moment in half pigeon. Finding a moment of rest. Always a nice practice to practice from moving from the standing, challenging shapes back towards ease instantaneously. No grasping towards the challenging shapes. And just moving, dropping into ease with one cycle of breath. Likewise, an equally good practice to move from these shapes of ease and relative stillness and quiet back to the flow, back to the movement without grasping, to the resting. Rise up, plant the hands to the top of the mat, tuck the back toes. Some love of vinyasa here. Otherwise, it can be a simple step back to downward facing dog. From down dog, reconnect to the breath. Plant the hands firmly. And then with inhale breath, look to the top of the mat, lift the heels, bend the knees. Exhale breath, toes together in a forward fold. Breath in, half lift. Breath out, fold in deeper. Deep bend knees, inhale, chair pose. So if big toes are touching, knees are touching. And then we take the hands to the heart, and this time we twist to the left, hooking the right tricep outside of the left thigh. And just notice how much the low body loves to join in on that twist. By pulling the right hip back and level with the left hip, we take the right knee level with the left knee. And then we root down equally through both feet to start as we press width into the chest. Eventually rooting down solely through the left foot. Feel how the more you press down through the left foot, the more the right foot just naturally lifts. And then when you're ready, we can step the right foot back to find our twisted high lunge. So adjust what needs to adjust here to find stability, equal and level in the hips again. And then strong and long in the back right leg, feeling that energetic lengthening, press all the way up through the spine, the crown of the head. Exhale breath to stay, to melt the hips lower, to press into a deeper twist. And then inhale, rise up through high lunge, to exhale, warrior two, left toes forward. Inhale, breath, reverse, left arm up and back. Exhale, breath, side angle, left arm to earth. You can look down towards the top of your mat for stability. Look ahead of the left big toe. And then inhale, rise up, half moon pose. So as you seek your half moon here and establish a little sense of stability, working towards opening, stacking the hips right over left and right over left shoulder as well. So left hand can place right under your face or out towards the left a little bit more for some added stability. And then because we're front body opening, can the right hand find the top right foot? And then once you have that bind, use the connection between the foot and the hand to push, press further opening into the hips, into the heart space, into the chest. Press the right arm long, take the right shoulder back, maybe even try looking up towards the sky. Breathe in, go big. No worries on falling. That is the benefit of home practice. And then exhale the warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle, left leg goes straight. Exhale, spin the left toes inward and then sweep on down to wide-legged forward fold. So playing with what you'd like to play with here. Crown of the head towards the earth, or little movement or static stretch. Here we'll play with a little bit of headstand prep. So just establishing that the crown of the head is not taking the weight of the pose, but rather here it's the elbows, the forearms, the fists. And then we're just playing with lifting the hips over the shoulders, and that takes a little weight out of the heels as we come towards the balls of the feet. Space is what we're going for, right? Just spaciousness. So however the spaciousness shows up in your body, we allow it, we follow it, we play around. No right or wrong. No right or wrong, but there is safe, so keep that in mind. Inhale, half lift, and then exhale, crawl to frame left foot at the top of the mat, plant the hands, and then half pigeon pose, right? So the left shin doesn't need to be parallel to the top of the mat, and if it's not, we can point the left toes. Square off the hips, the heart towards the front, and then forward, fold, release. Hang out. Close the eyes. And find a sense of overall lengthening here, lengthening in the breath, lengthening from the back right toes all the way up through the top of the head or up through the fingertips. We can use breath to scan through the body and help us notice where we might let go a little bit more, soften. Are we still tensing up to protect, to grab, to hold on? Or are we tense by way of seeking sensation, pressing into the stretch? What about going easy here for a moment? Easy, easy. Easy and long in the breath. Just getting to know the habits, the tendencies. With ease, rising back up, plant the hands to the top of the mat. Full vinyasa as we tuck the back toes, shift it back. Or we can just meet in downward facing dog. Always your choice. Listen to the body. Listen to intuition. It will guide you. Drop the ego, drop a sense of should, and do what's best in the moment, From downward facing dog, we'll take knees to the earth, setting up for another round of camel pose. This time we're further open, we are further prepped. So standing on knees with the toes tucked, we'll sweep arms up to the sky, lengthen, lift up, out of low back. And then sweep the hands back to the low back. We can repeat what we did before. Lift up through the heart, the chin. Or we can take a bind again, interlacing fingers at the low back. Or maybe this time we're ready to reach to the heels. And then lift up through the heart. Press the hips forward. Chin can stay towards the chest. As heart goes to the sky and hips press forward. Lengthen out of the low back. That's the sensation. Heart skyward rather than back. A little bit of engagement in the belly. Stay. And then bring the hands to the base of the spine to rise straight back up. With exhale, untuck the toes this time. Sit the hips to the heels. And we'll take a moment of rest and reset with the palms face up in the thighs. Let the chin come back to neutral, back of the neck long. Notice the breath, notice what is arising. Stay away from labels, stay away from descriptors. Just present with the energy, letting anything that arises simply be energy, not good or bad. And then we'll open the eyes. Sit the hips to the side, swing the legs around in front, and then come down for our peak pose today. We have 3 variations of bridge pose, so we're going to go slow. First things first, find your setup. Palms face down by the side, heels are close into the glutes, hips width distance apart, so I can reach the heels with the tips of the fingers. And then noticing into the back, lengthen the low back to the earth, right? So go a little bit shorter on the belly, a little bit longer on the low back. We might need to adjust the hips and feel a slight reach of the tailbone skyward. And with that engagement in the belly, we root down through the heels, through the balls of the feet, the whole foot. And press to lift hip points rather than the navel. Think hip points to the sky. This time we'll just flip the palms face up and then wiggle the heads of the shoulders underneath the chest. So there's an effect of chin pressing back towards, heart back towards the chin. Chin stays just straight, neutral, eyes to the sky. Heart towards the chin as hip points go skyward. Right, so that flip of the palms face up and that tuck of the heads of the shoulders underneath is where we get the greater heart opening. And when you're ready to lower down, slowly tailbone down last. And just a neutral position here for rest. So the feet can stay as they are. You can step the feet out a little bit wider, turn the toes in, and reset. Feel the back side of the hips level to the mat. Check in with breath. Lengthen the low back to the earth again. And as we move forward, you can stay at the level that we just did. Listen to the body before we add on, right? So we have the same setup with the heels, hips width, heels in close to the glutes. We root through the feet, lift hip points to the sky, flip the palms up, tuck the shoulders underneath. And then you could take a full bind by interlacing the fingertips and tucking the triceps underneath. So here the weight of the pose is on the triceps and the back of the shoulders, not the back of the neck. Drive the pinkies down towards the earth as hip points go skyward. That bind of the arms is opening the heart so the heart can press back towards the chin. Heart towards the chin. And then we slow lower down. This time we can bend the knees, grab hands to the knees, little wind removing pose. Lengthening the low back here, right? Taking that reset to come back to neutral in the hips and the low back. Little side to side wiggle if that feels good. And then for round 3, we have choices. You can repeat either of the first 2 variations we just did, or we can play with a hollow back hold. So this will be an advanced bridge pose variation. Set up the base, the foundation the same way. Lift the hips. Flip the palms face up to begin. Take a full bind, interlacing the fingers behind you and wiggling on to the triceps and the back sides of the shoulders. This time take the heels of the hands to either side of the low back side of the hips. And we're using the pressure of the heels of the hands to the top side of back of the hips to lift the hip points a little bit more. Notice how the weight is on the elbows, the triceps, and the shoulders, not the back of the neck. If this feels great, you can play with lifting one leg or both. And we're coming with both legs lifted into a hollow back hold. send the heels forward to the front of your space a little bit to work towards stacking heels over the hips. Continue aiming tailbone towards the earth as you press and push the heart towards your chin. Flex or point the feet. The legs are active and long and strong. And then one at a time, bring the feet back to the earth. And only releasing the hands from the low back when you feel supported again with both feet grounded. Slowly lengthen the spine back down towards the earth. Come back to a sense of neutral in both body and mind. Breath 2. And we can come back to that wind removing pose, drawing the knees into the chest or taking a little wiggle side to side. Back to ease, back to neutral spine. And then to work that spine towards neutral again, happy baby. So the effect of happy baby here is imagining going towards, driving the low back towards the mat, the tailbone towards the mat, flattening the whole spine and the back of the head down onto the mat. So we don't need the side to side rock this time. We're just trying to stay neutral, trying to balance everything out there again. And then from a neutral happy baby, drawing the thighs towards earth as heels reach up towards the sky. We can bring the soles of the feet together, knees together, arms out wide to a T, and then from neutral spine, supine twist. So as knees go to the right and the chin goes to the left, you could scoot the right hip back towards the center of the mat a little bit to find that neutral alignment in the spine again. Top leg can go out long for a little more leverage into your twist. Make these final shapes your own. And of course, stay for longer if you'd like to stay for longer. Never skip the cool down process. When you're ready to switch sides, knees together, back to neutral through center, and then knees left, right arm out to a T. We could look straight up to the sky or let the chin go to the right. Top right leg could reach out long for a little bit more leverage into that low body twist. And you could play with scooting the left hip back towards the center of the mat to play with that alignment from tailbone to the top of the head. Knees together, knees high up into the chest when you're ready to come back to center. Give yourself a final hug, a final squeeze. Gratitude for the practice, for the breath, for the body, for all the things we were able to do, for the opening, for the greater spaciousness. And then exhale to Shavasana. Resting in the open space that we've created. Getting comfortable with open space in the mind. Drop the fidgeting. Let yourself stay here for longer. Practice simply being. Getting comfortable with the physical space we've opened up in the heart and the chest, across the collarbone. Feel the shoulders dropping back towards earth. Palms face up to help that opening happen. If you're in home practice, stay here for as long as you would like to. Extend your Shavasana. For the purpose of the video, we'll begin to wiggle it out. We'll begin to close. Reaching the arms overhead, we can point or flex the feet. Take a nice full body stretch. Draw the knees one at a time back up into the chest. And then roll on over to the right side, fetal position. Pause here. Recognize all the benefits you've received by committing to your intention today. for coming to your mat, for moving and opening the heart with the practice. And then use the top arm to slowly press up. Gaze stays low or eyes stay closed. Keep the attention, the focus inward still as we rise back up to a seat. An excellent place for a little extra meditation here. Perhaps a little more settled in the body and the mind. Take advantage of that post-yoga bliss. Notice it. Notice the effects of your heart-opening practice. And close today with a dedication to carry that open heart into the rest of your weekend for as long as you possibly can, into the rest of your day. Om, Ah, Hum. Thank you for joining us for this online practice with Baja Surf Yoga. Please visit our website for more, and we hope to see you back here again.